Hi, so my name's Amy. So what it is I welcome to my YouTube channel, and what it is that I do is I do videos to help people, deal with their the emotional stages of coming out of a relationship. My last video was obviously based on the dumpy and their experience. There was, and like their experience in stages, there was obviously some information on the dumper, and so this video is really about the dumper and the stages that the dumper goes through. So I'm gonna start. So basically, what the aim of the video is, the 5 stages of the dumper. But this, it's like the cycle. It's like the cycle, the loss from the dumper's point of view, and really, this can only be achieved by the no contact rule, the famous no contact rule, and it can only really, and it can only get, you can only get real results if you actually allow this person to go through these stages, because if you don't, then the person will not appreciate, they will not feel their way through it, they will not see their consequences, and they'll not actually appreciate you, and they'll not be able to see how much you mean to them, or how much they'll not be able to gain any sort of respect towards you. So this is a very hard cycle to go through, considering, you're going to see this person that you love, and they're going to be going through a range of emotions. They're going to be taking the emotions out in you. They might know, but they might deal with it a different way, but you're going to see a lot of emotional turmoil from this person, and it can make you feel guilty, and it can make you feel bad, and you want to take them back again, and the purpose of this is because you want them back, but you want to have them back when the product is ready, like the cycle is done, and by that time you would have made some changes within yourself, and the dumper would have been able to see and acknowledge and make changes in themselves. So sorry, I'm a bit tired today. No been sleeping. So I'm going to go through the stages of the dumper during no contact, and the stages of the dumper. See, at first, when the dumper obviously ends the relationship with you, the dumper is, they've obviously thought about it. They've obviously maybe felt this way for a while, and they've went through kind of battling their heads and how do I tell this person? How do I tell this person? So they've kind of planned it, and they've maybe thought about it. It's very rare that they'll just wake up one day and realise they don't want to be with you. There's usually issues within the relationship, or there's maybe their attraction levels drop towards you compared to what it was, at the beginning or halfway through. It's whatever issues and that's been going on, and these people they're kind of trapped, and they want to get out of this relationship that's maybe making them miserable. Whether I'm not saying that's any fault of yours, I'm not saying it's any fault of theirs. It could be some things in your part, sometimes things in their part. So basically what happens is, obviously the dumper, when they get to the point where they want to end the relationship, they feel relieved. They just feel relieved. It's a weight off their shoulders. They finally came to the point where they've been able to tell you and be honest with you. They might say things to kind of lower the blow to a certain extent. So your ex is, as I said, your ex has probably been thinking about this relationship breakup for a while, and inside their minds, they're trying to figure out a way how to tell you. without hurting you. You know, some of the causes which are rare, the ex will dump you in an instance. That's very, very rare to do that. As an like that could be, you know, couples having an argument and that the ex just, you know, like they're angry and the end of the relationship, and they've just maybe been in a bad emotional state and they just want to get rid of you at that particular moment. So what happens is, when the ex that's obviously thought about it, they will kind of want to water this down, right? They don't want you to feel crap about yourselves when they're obviously ending this relationship. The one that's thought about it and they've analysed it in their heads, and you know they're quite logical and they're going to, I'm going to have to end this. But however, when the ex that's obviously thought about this will usually don't want to break your heart, they don't want to hurt you, they don't want to, you know, make you feel crap about yourself. So they'll maybe come up with, like, you know, watered down excuses, like, you know, it's no you, it's me, I think I just need a bit of time to, you know, look at myself, and it's nothing to do with you. And they'll say things like, you know, it's just too complicated for me now, so if I just take myself away and, you know, do a wee bit of work on myself, and then I'll come back, and, you know, they'll just kind of, things are just getting a wee bit too much, and I just need some breathing space. And really what that's doing is leaving the relationship on a kind of, I'm hoping that things, or leaving you hoping that this person will come back. At that particular time, they're not actually really, it's just excuses, and they're just saying whatever to lessen the blow for you so they can walk away. And really, you know, it's to make them look like they're a good guy, or they're a good woman, you know what I mean? And they're not really intending to hurt you. And I suppose in a way that's their exit strategy without drama, because they're obviously like, they're absolutely want to avoid any sort of drama, so they'll just kind of tell you what you want to hear. And what happens is, at this stage, the ex feels relief. So the relief can last a couple of days. You know, the hard part is done. They're free. If you're feeling trapped in a relationship that they might, you know, have a lot of doubts about, they might be unhappy with, their attraction level to you is low, like they don't kind of feel, they don't feel that way towards you that maybe you feel that way towards them. So this is like a hard kind of pill to swallow, but whether you like it or not, it's the truth. And the relief period will usually last a few days, and your ex is confident and assured about their decision. There's no changing their minds at this point. They are walking away for this relationship, and bearing in mind in this stage, they haven't confronted their feelings about it yet, and this is going to come later. At this stage, and whether it's you want to hear this or no, your ex is excited. They're just like, freedom, yes, and I'm glad I'm out of this. So, and it's not hard as that is to hear. I'm just here to tell you the truth. I'm not here to tell you, like, you know, fill your heads with fairy tales that they might be doubting. No, they've made their decision. So what happens is we move on to the anxiety stage, and this right, so basically, right, so for that stage one, right, if you go into the no contact rule, right, this, and you kind of maintain that no contact rule, let them have their excitement, let them have their parties, let them put their stuff on social media, let them do what they want. You need to, as hard as what it is, no make any contact, no initiate any contact with your ex. And so when we move on to the anxiety stage, what happens is, when you're still maintaining no contact, what happens is your ex kind of starts to think about you, and they start to wonder, why have they not contacted me? Why have they not phoned? What's going on here? And like, they're used to a certain pattern in their behaviours, right? So like, he's texts quite regular at certain times of the day or certain times of the night, or so they're still used to that pattern of behaviour, just like you're used to that pattern of behaviour. Just because you're apart, they kind of expect that to come back, and then what happens is that gets disrupted. That gets disrupted because they're just like, whoa, what's just happened there? This person, like, this kind of habit, a behaviour's changed. And basically what this does is it puts them into a place of uncertainty, and they don't obviously know that the no contact rule's going on right now, so they're just like, whoa, what's going on here? So it creates a lot of anxiety for your ex, and they have left this relationship in a place of power, right? They're up there, you're down there, they don't even think much of you at this stage. And basically, when it gets to this, like, obviously, when it gets to this stage, they're confident that you will call them at this stage. When they're going through, like when they're going through that anxiety stage, or when they left, they're confident when they left that you will be the one that will come to them and chase them and run after, like, pursue that contact. No the other way about. So what happens is, like, really what there's basically the message in their head is, you need them and you want them. And what happens is the effects get reversed, because this isn't happening. They've no contacted me, they've no phoned me, and it kind of affects their egos and their sense of self-importance, and which creates anxiety and worry, and your ex will start to wonder where you're at. But at that stage, they'll start to kind of maybe go into your social media. If you're not on social media, they might start speaking to mutual friends about you, doing a bit of fishing, asking about you, like what's been going on with your life at this point, and how are you? And basically what it is they will worry that you've met somebody else, right? That you've met somebody else. So it's not really particularly because they care that you're under together anymore. Their automatic response is they must be with somebody else, and that affects how they feel. Like, what? So what happens, as I say, is it shatters that kind of self-importance. And so you've went for a level of being down there, and now you're kind of up here a bit, like, whoa, whoa, what's going on here? And basically, they realise that because they don't know anything that's going on with you, or because they don't really know what you're thinking, they don't really know what you're, in the fact that you're not chasing them, it kind of like, what's going on? Like, and they start to kind of get anxious and think, I must have no meant anything to them. And I'm going to give you a word of advice, like, during this stage, like, during any stages of this, please don't put up posts on Facebook, trying to make your ex jealous, or making it out like maybe you've got a new partner or something, like, if anything, I would try and stay off social media. And I'm only saying this because I've had personal experience of it, like, like, try to wind the ex up and all the rest of it, and I'm so dead happy, and I'm with this guy and I'm with that guy, and all the rest of it. Don't. It kind of, you just end up making a fool of yourself. Everybody in the whole county knows that you're just doing it to kind of wind them up, and it kind of leaves your ex with the impression that, well, I must have not really meant that much to that person if they're just moving on quite quickly and they're quite happy, and it kind of gets their back up. So I'd be kind of careful about that. plus, what'll happen is it kind of leaves you in that experience feeling embarrassed and cringing and oh my god, and because you're quite angry and you just want to get back at them, and I get that. So you can actually screw everything up at that stage. So anyway, that's the second stage, and that's like the anxiety, the worry. You've put the fear into them because you've no initiated any contact, you've no initiated, and they might even start maybe kind of dropping the odd text if they can contact you that way, and as I say, maybe speaking to the odd person because they're getting worried. There's questions going through their head because, as I said, it shatters their ego, and they're just like, whoa, and it removes that sense of self-importance. So I'm going to move on to the anger stage, and the anger stage is when the ex gets frustrated, right? Remember, no contact, right? You'd make no moves towards this ex, right? Especially at this stage, right? Like, no, well, I wouldn't say any stage, but, the anxiety stage, you can kind of palm it off, but this is the stage where people usually struggle to stay away from their exes, and I'll get into that because you've not paid them any attention, and you've not returned their calls, and this, or returned their calls or their texts, and this usually has a major impact on their egos, right? Big time. And they are like, who the hell do they think they are? And this is the stage where they will try and pull you back with control because you are ignoring them. Remember what I said earlier, they left the relationship with power. So this is the tables are kind of turning, and they are feeling that powerlessness, and they're just like, and when people are powerless, they get angry, they get frustrated, and they kind of kick it, and they throw their toys at the pram. So what they might say is, they could send you a text message, and they could say like, so you're blanking me? Do you think you're all right? I'm glad I dumped you. So they'll say things like that because they want to affect your self-esteem, and they want to get you panicking, like, oh. So, and like, basically it's just a way of pushing you down, right? So that you'll succumb to them, you'll go to them, and what they'll do is they'll just, as I say, they'll try and pull you down any chance you've got to get a reaction out of you, because by getting that reaction, they still know that they've got your attention. Yeah, see? And what happens is, if they're still getting your attention, then that makes them feel better. So that's it. Challenge accepted, or, mission complete. It's making them feel better. So they feel secure, they know that you're still kind of pacifying to them, and so you're kind of just breeding into that sense of importance again. No, right? So what'll happen is if, so they basically just try to get a reaction and you react, and then or you respond, and you're basically just walking into their horns, and we don't really want that, do we, people, right? So what happens is, if they can't contact you by phone or by message, and maybe you've kind of blocked them off for this no contact period, is what it usually forces them into doing is the slagging you off. Yeah, like it maybe kind of like, as I said before, if they can contact you, slagging matches, and trying to get an argument out of you, like they'll try and keep that going, and the more you respond to it, they're kind of keeping you in that place. But if this person can contact you and they can like message you or just show up or whatever, what they'll kind of tend to do is turn to like friends in the family, and they'll basically they will put that anger and that attention that they've got towards you onto them, and they'll say to this like the family members and that, well, like the way they treated me, and they'll basically kind of like slag you off and try and bring you down to these family members or these friends or whatever, and they'll kind of, you know, she was this or he was that, and, you know, they treated me like this and they treated me like that, and really all that is doing is deflecting that powerlessness. So they'll kind of turn it into an external issue, and that's not because they're a bad person, it's just because they're really, really angry. And like, when people are angry, they can pull people down to make themselves feel better. And basically, if they want to do that with family and friends and that, let them. Like, don't, like, if you hear about it, don't respond to it. Just let them, because that's just their way dealing with the anger and making them feel a wee bit powerful for a wee bit, you know? Like, and really, but them feeling powerful is actually a result of them being powerless. They're powerless over this. So really, just, you know, some people, like I'm trying to think. Some people might, you know, go silent. So not everybody, you know, is quite verbal, and not everybody's quite, you know, out there. Some people, you've got other exes that maybe go silent, and they're just a bit like, but inside they are raging, right? And they basically kind of let it fester in their heads, and it's just kind of like bubbling up. And really what that is the anger hasn't quite gone their way, right? I repeat, the anger hasn't quite gone their way, right? And what's happening is, whether it's a person that sits quiet or whether it's a person that's out trying to turn everybody against you because they're angry, is they are lashing out at the powerlessness and they have over you. They realise that they don't have that control over you, and that's a major dent to their ego. They're like, what? You know what I mean? Especially when they left that relationship feeling all that. So what happens, this is the stage where the tables turn, right? I repeat, this is the stage where the tables turn. And that's if you maintain no contact. Because usually at this stage, people start, they just want an easy life, or they don't want their ex to hate them, and they're like, if I continue this, my ex will, you know, never take me back, and they'll move on. No. They won't. Because, just allow them to go through this process, because if you take them back, you've no changed, they've no changed. And they'll take you back for a wee bit, and then they'll dump you, because they'll not have any respect for you. They'll not value you. So you need to allow them just to go through the tantrums and go through, like, slagging you after people and that. Let them just be dignified and just let them go through the process, as long as you're that, like, taking them back because you feel bad or you feel like you're going to lose them for good. That is a major mistake that people make. You need to stay strong and just trust. See this, what I'm obviously talking to you about today. This is a very successful program, and it's helped a lot of people. And I mean, it's helped people worldwide, you know, be able to get their exes back and stuff like that. Like, it's not even stuff like that, it's fact. You know what I mean? Because this is the emotional human response to what this person's going through. So you need to allow them to go through that anger, allow them to go through hating you for a bit, bad mouthing you for a bit, or whatever, because they're not going to really value what they've lost if they just come in, click the foot, and you come back. So really, I'd say, you know, maintain this no contact. The ego has been shattered, and basically now they're just spitting their dummies out the pram. They're just having their wee tantrums, and they have no means of them being able to communicate with you, and they will start to spit the dummy out, and the people, like, they will just, like, make statements to everybody around them about you. This is basically to re-establish the power back in their heads, because they don't really want to recognise the loss and the dent to their egos. They're just like, hell no. So what we're moving on to is stage 4. And stage 4 is the confrontation stage, and this is the stage where, you know, that's what I'm saying. If you don't allow the anger stage, they'll never get to the confrontation stage. And this is the good stage. This is the stage where they start to calm down and they start to assess everything and they start to kind of realise what they've lost. So they start to acknowledge the loss. And this is a stage where the table, you know, as I said, the tables are starting to turn, but they're turned completely at this stage, right? And remember stage 1, when they were all confident and calm and they were assured and, you know, they were set on making this decision. Well, this is kind of been smashed. This has really been smashed, right? So they're maybe thinking that they've got to this stage where they're kind of thinking they've maybe lost you for good, and they're probably part of them, you know, especially like men, right? Men will kind of go. They probably thought, because they were maybe arrogant and they thought they had that power, that like they probably thought that you would beg for them back, right? Or even the female, they thought that they could just click your finger and you would eventually like they wouldn't even need to try. They're getting you back like anytime they want. Well, that now we're on this stage and they're going, oh no, I'm not getting this person back. You know what I mean? So what happens is they start to realise like that they got it wrong about you. And what happens is they start to see you in a better light, and their attraction and their respect towards you goes up, right? This is like, I want this person back, and they realise that they underestimated you. And now they've got this new perception of you as a person, and they're just like, wow, I'm blown away with this person. And because you had the kind of balls to, like, you know, stand up to them and no go back to them and no be weak, you've stood your ground, and that's amazing what that does to somebody's perception. They're just like, wow, nothing but respect. And this stage can go either way, you know what I mean? This may result in the ex, you know, making contact with you, making amends for what they've done, and they'll apologise for like the angry outbursts to the other texts or slagging you after people, and they'll just say, oh, I was having a bad day and I didn't really mean this. And you've got other exes, right, who will remain silent, and they can look at the confrontation stage as looking at themselves realistically, looking at themselves and the pain that they are in. And it'll bring them to kind of realise what they've lost, and they probably think they've lost this person for good, and they're just too afraid to reach out in fear, like fear of how you react to them, fear of, you know, confrontation. So they kind of start feeling like ashamed and like guilty, and they would rather just see how it pans out. So not everybody all comes in with the big, you know, the big, you know, like the big running shoes, like, oh, I beg you, I'm sorry. No, everybody does that. Some people are actually more silent about the matter, and they just kind of decide, see like how it pans out, and maybe silently hoping and trusting that things will fall into place. Through time they will, and that's really the two major kind of characters in this. You know, the one that comes running, or the one that kind of stays in the distance and just hopes things will change and you'll change your mind. So stage 5 is the hope of getting contact. Right, this is the best stage. This is the stage where you have your ex exactly where you want them. So this is the stage where you might be at home, they might be at home or they might be at work, and basically what's happening is they're absolutely glued to their phone at this point. If they get a text or a call, they automatically just jump to the conclusion that it's you that's phoning them and it's you that's calling them, and they realise that it is now. Like, it isn't. And they get angry, and they get extremely fidgety and extremely anxious at this stage, and they are just hanging on to that hope that you will contact them, because you're stuck to your guns so far. You'll contact them eventually. They have grown and learned a lot about themselves at this stage, and they've evaluated themselves and learned to value you better. And they have, as I say, in the last stage, they've upped their respect towards you, and they now know the cost of the loss. The cost of the loss, right? And they feel this and they acknowledge it logically and emotionally. But when they think about you, they feel happy, they feel excited, they feel love, they feel joy. They have went through that, like they've went through all the roller coaster emotions to get to this stage, and they've accepted their part in things, and they also acknowledge that you might never come back. That's really depending on the severity of the situation, like how bad the breakup actually was, how bad you actually treated each other, or how bad they treated you. But in their hearts, they're hoping that you will make a return, and that the exit this stage will be transformed. They will be grown and will gain more attraction and respect towards you, and this will make you both solid. And if you prepare this union, but if I just like to add as well, let them contact you, not the other way around. They will probably be thinking that you've met somebody else. How like they'll just be saying things like, "How are they? How's their life without me?" And their heads are just going to be absolutely swarming with questions. And so they'll kind of check your social media again, and they'll kind of ask your friends, and they won't be so forthcoming with contact at this stage, because they've kind of realised a lot of stuff. So they might be a wee bit held back, but eventually you will they just go through that wee kind of resistance stage, because they kind of know and acknowledge that they're part of everything. So they'll go through that wee resistance stage, but then what will happen is you'll probably receive just an absolute load of text messages for them, and this is basically the end. This is the end. But you need to let it get to that point where they're contacting you a lot and that, and it's they're sincere and they're sorry, and they're changed in that, and you've changed as well. You've had to go through your cycle of grief, and you'll come together kind of better people, and it's the likelihood is high if you allow, that's what I'm saying. It's unless you allow them to go through that process, and you're going through that process, then if you kind of initiate contact in between, or let them initiate, then he's just going to come back into the relationship the same people. I mean, you're not going to have done any work, and they're not going to have done any work. So you may as well just, allow them to go through it. I'm not saying that you're not going to make mistakes, and they're maybe not going to phone you and you're going to cave a couple of times. That's something that you need to learn that and experience. There's no right or wrong way, but you'll need to learn that and experience that in your own way, and learn from your mistakes. But I would suggest, just staying out the light and letting them feel them emotions, letting them go through the roller coaster, letting them go through the anger, and you also going through the same thing yourselves. So if you do, you'll basically come together stronger, better people, and you've got the information and what not to do, and and that's what counts. It's what not to do during this process. You can't help that person, you can't save that person, and really, if you're taking this person back and you're basically allowing them to kind of control, it's really, you need to look at it as you're afraid of losing this person. And if you're still afraid of losing that person, then you're still clinging on to them, and they're not going to respect you. Let them go through that cycle. And that's what everybody goes through, every dumper goes through, unless it was just some fling or whatever, and they didn't really care about you, But if this person did genuinely care about you, they will go through these stages, and